Good morning, Tuvalu, and welcome to Star Trek Season 1, Episode 8, Miri, or as the real fans know it, well, Episode 11, but, you know, the Miri, it is Miri. I don't know if the real fans want to know it. Yes, today, if you don't know how this works, we're basically going to be doing a live audio track. Oh, wait, I should start recording. There we go. If you don't know how this works, we're going to be doing, basically recording a audio commentary track live. So it's bring your own video. We'll have, hang on a sec, my timestamp up to help people sync. Look at that. I mapped it to a button. But yes, you know, you gotta go get your own episode. I'm doing the remastered versions. Doesn't matter if you're doing the original. It's just a personal preference, especially for this episode. I don't think it matters. Paramount Plus has the remasters, and eventually we're gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! But now I'm gonna pass some time for people to get set up. I'm gonna have to say that a lot. Yes, so, we could be doing anything today. No, it's the weekend. We could be watching anything. We could be watching Has Been Hotel, you know, like my wife, who's been watching it on loop for like the past month. It's very good. It's great. No, unless it seriously fumbles its last 2 episodes, like more catastrophically than I've ever seen anything ever do when I watched Game of Thrones, it's gonna get my Perfection Awards. I think is known for not being great. I vaguely remember it. There's one I get mixed up with a lot. No, I was gonna say with the Children of... Oh, God. Why, YouTube? We're buffer... I lowered my bitrate. I'm streaming it above my bitrate. Hang on. Oh, let's get rid of that. What's that about? No, hide. Hide that. I'm streaming it up. I don't know. I live in the middle of Spokane, which is the largest settlement in the country for like 300 miles east and like a good 1,000 miles west of here. I have the internet to do this. It's just like, yeah, no, bit rate 4,500. OBS, why are you going above 45? 7,600. My upload speed is like 16 megabytes per second, and YouTube is not currently receiving data for this stream with the correct stream key. I'm not dropping enough frames to buffer. God, I need a fiber company to come here. You know, here's something I read online, right? I don't know if I can do this midstream, but hang on, let me find it. Stream. Alright, I'm gonna be right back. There we go. We're back. I read, oops, not virtual camera. I read online somewhere that, someone streamed to YouTube's backup servers rather than their main servers, because everyone goes through the main servers. And so the backup ended up being a lot smoother, but OBS didn't like it. It would not stream to the backups, and then I accidentally closed OBS. Whoops. I've also heard Twitch might be smoother. I might try Twitch one of these days, because it's on YouTube's end. I'm sending the data. OBS says I'm sending the data. I'm sending the data more than I need to. I'm more than you need for like HD video streaming, and I have more than you need by a long ways. In fact, I'm not even streaming at 60. I'm streaming at 30. And I'm streaming a static image. And audio, yes, but I'm streaming a static image. Next week might be on Twitch. Next week we might try out Twitch. Whoopsie daisies. I've moved the time bar. Okay, no, it's still good. Alright, yeah. As I said, we've all chose to just watch Miri for some reason. I'm just gonna give the stream a little bit. It seems like it's doing a lot healthier. I don't know. I might try Twitch. I want to stream on YouTube, because my audience is on YouTube, and especially when it's a very small audience, they can see in YouTube, like, the subscription. I know you can dual stream to Twitch and YouTube, but I think that's gonna take, like, twice the internet. I don't know. I might look into that. I don't know. It's Comcast. I've had Comcast most of my life. I've never had problems with Comcast. And to be YouTube, like half the time, it's because the upload speed like occasionally dips really low. But like last week, we were buffering when I had dropped a total of 2 seconds across the entire hour stream. But it shouldn't be too big of a deal. I think we should be able to do it. I've dropped 16 frames since I came back on, and that's not going up. Right, yep, I hope everyone's doing good. I mean, if there's an episode that things fail catastrophically, Miri's not a bad one. There are better ones where it could fail. Well, you know, if it fails on, like, the really bad ones, you know? Like, I don't know, we had Mud's Women, I guess, but people kind of want to come and see. Like, some of the people watching this are waiting for me to, like, rip Spock's brain apart when actually I'm going to praise it for being an amazing episode, and you're all wrong. But, you know, you want the middling episodes that no one cares about. But yes, thank you all for some reason to deciding to watch Miri. Spend your day watching Miri. Here, let's go transparent so you can kind of see... I'm gonna try move this. Look, you can see it on the background. You used to be able to get the time bar, like, out of VLC Media, and they updated it. They updated it so that you can't do that anymore. Oh, and great, the time bar. There you go. Yeah, they removed that feature, and I don't understand why. Like, it's probably harder to let the user... you know, put it wherever they want. It's really annoying. Maybe there's a setting, but it's really annoying. But I've seen these episodes before, so whatever. Yeah, we've still dropped 16 frames. We've stabilized. I wonder if my wife has stopped streaming Has-Been for some reason. But yeah, I think we've rambled enough. It's about time to do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Where's my timer? There you go. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and it's play on go. And if I cut out, don't worry, because if you don't pause, when I come back, we'll be synced up still. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Nope. Okay, go back. Let's reset. That hasn't happened in a while, but it didn't work. Everyone pause, go back to 0, yada yada. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, no, third time. Oh wait, no, it did work. It did work. Sorry, everyone. Good. Okay, we're good. We're good. I don't know why that doesn't really work. It used to happen, like, every time. Hundreds. I don't know. Probably. Yeah, this is the episode. I do remember. It's the first one that kind of... It's the first... It's just Earth somewhere else. And, it's an awful justification. It really is. And I'm glad we've ignored it. Yeah. I mean, there's parts of this theory that's actually genuinely interesting. Because I know they're going to say it's like the so-and-so theory of parallel development. And you're like, it's always just some Earth. Well, yeah, TOS was bad. Was that it literally was Earth. It wasn't an Earth-like society. It was just Earth. And I'm sorry, but we do have the rule, you know. There we go. That's my version. It's because like the explanation that like the so-and-so theory of parallel development just completely glosses over the fact that there's a planet absolutely identical to Earth within like the range that you could get to from the, like, that's great, you know, whatever. That sucks. We all know it. I don't like that. But the actual theory of like parallel development, that if you did have this Earth that, you know, a planet that was identical to Earth, especially if we say like all the plants and stuff, there is like a lot of interesting stuff where it probably would develop societies where like the powerful societies are in a lot of the similar places. You know, like one, very briefly, you know, one of the reasons America is like such a powerful country has nothing to do with like it is a country, but because the Mississippi River is like an exceptional navigable waterway to like half of the country, and it goes across like massive plains. It's just very great land. One of the reasons the UK was the like first country to industrialize England was because it has the coal, it has the isolation, it has like all the natural resources it would need to do, and there were others who could have done it first. They were just one of the first one in that sort of position to do it, and so you could have some interesting stuff. But they take it so far to where, like, they literally develop English, exactly. They have the exact same style buildings. Not just the same material, that, you know, would make sense, because, you know, we kind of build out of the materials that are around. But, yeah, this is... The whole why are humans everywhere, or, like, human-looking species is done so much better in every other explanation. It's a good set, though. I mean, you know, CBS probably has a bunch of standing sets like this. This might be the highest budget I've ever seen for a TOS episode. Jaxlaw, you say it's season 1, which is interesting, because most people would probably put all this blame on season 3. Be like, look how bad season 3 is. But yeah, it's I mean, it's just how it was back then, especially when Star Trek wasn't a franchise. It was, at this point, 11 episodes. They just wanted to tell a story where, like, Earth... sort of a warning as well of, like, you know, the war and everything we'll get to, but... It's like, yeah, they just made it happen and, like, screw it. It's not impossible. Like, no, it's absolutely possible that there's a planet identical to Earth with everything, like, identical, except they, like, destroyed themselves in the 60s or 20s or whatever, I don't know. But, it's extraordinarily unlikely. It's the first try of Star Trek. Oh, yeah, I mean, it's just how TV was at the time, but, I know. If you think this is weird, you should go see some 60s Doctor Who episodes. There's one where the TARDIS just lands in the land of fiction. It's just like another universe, but where fiction is reality. Like they meet the Greek myths and... yeah, there's some funky concepts in 60s sci-fi. Oh my gosh, that makeup's pretty good as well. Like, even if that was in a modern show, like there'd be more post-production, but I'd buy that, you know. Where'd they get the budget for this on? God. Bones. I know you say it. Well, also, just look at Bones, like, completely dehumanizing the alien. Like, it's an it, Jim. It's not even worth personhood. That's a really good set. It's absolutely a standing set, but it's weird seeing TOS with like a budget. I kind of like it. Wait, why is Janice here? I've only just clocked that. I mean, I think she's here to be jealous of Miri. Like, but why is she here in universe? Huh. There she is. There's the titular Miri, whose age we'll probably have to Google. Kirk is consistently just... As much as he has a lot more positive traits than like people give him credit for, he's always shockingly bad at handling other people. Like, no, we won't hurt you. Let me drag you out of the closet. There we go. Let's lean back. Probably mess up my audio. Oh yeah, let's turn up that gain a bit. Which one's the gain? There we go. That's probably better. Yeah, I always think this is, and the children shall lead. I think that's a season 3 episode. Just because of the title, and I remember that, like, all the kids are alive. But, I think that's a totally different episode. I like how on the ship they look into the tools on the ship, and then when they pull back, they project stuff on their face that is out of focus. I'm not sure I get what you mean, Jack's Law. This is something that usually bothers me in shows when, like, they make these random, like, dialects and words, and it always feels really... It almost always feels really forced. Like, what's... Battlestar Galactica's got, like, frack is a fake swear word, and that's a whole nother level. God, I always hate when they just invent fake swear words. It just feels so... It takes me out of it so much, but... Enterprise has got Terra Nova, which is just, like... It's hard to watch because of all that fake language, and I get the concept, but... I actually think this one's one of the least egregious ones. It's only like grups and little ones. Yeah. Oh yeah, well I mean there are some things we come back to, like the other two theories of well no, one of why there are humanoids in the galaxy, like the precursors, I think we come back to. They're referenced There are some TOS plots. Like, we had, what? Landrew came back in Lower Decks. But, Alright, she hasn't said it, so... Okay, Kirk. The first time I could be, okay, you're trying to comfort her. But the second time, the way you said very pretty. Star Trek, how old is Miri? Oh, yeah. Okay, I've remembered the I've remembered the twist. I'm not gonna spoil it if you don't remember, but that question's a little difficult to answer. Mentally, though, how I don't remember. Yeah, this one's kind of weird because I think the episode just about how this kid loves Kirk, and it's kind of weird. What else do we get? The Great Barrier is something. Discovery mentioned it, but like only because it existed, you know, like it didn't really matter. I would have loved Picard to bring the Great Barrier in as like basically protecting the galaxy from the AI empire that kind of lives outside of our galaxy. That was just a job for someone. No, I mean it's because in the 60s continuity just wasn't really an idea. Like they explored these ideas, these interesting ideas, but you just didn't really come back to them. I mean, you didn't do repeats, so you kind of needed your episodes to be standalone. I think there's like 3 to 5 references to previous episodes in the whole series, and until you get to the movies. No, it's nothing like that. It's just in the six. It's just how TV was in the 60s. I mean, again, you could look at Doctor Who, which is a different continent than Star Trek, but it's pretty similar. See, they're even playing like romantic music over it. Maybe it's just the way like Kirk is, or potentially even Shatner, but like either the character or the actor, or they're leaning into that like the girl has to fall for Kirk. It's just kind of uncomfortable though, because it's like if the girl, you know, she's becoming an adult, she fell for Kirk, fine, you know what, whatever. That's one thing. But if Kirk feels like he's actually hitting on her, and it just feels wrong. Like I don't think it's the intent, but it's what it feels like. That's a simple effect, but it's also well done. This whole episode's actually got a budget. I bet this was interesting at the time because you're seeing much more what looks like the modern day, like post-apocalyptic. You know what I mean? Like now it looks old, but I bet that was an interesting aspect of the episode. Well, probably because he's Vulcan. Oh yeah. Is this an anti-life prolongation episode? I remembered it being a weapon. I don't know about that, Jackson. Like, it's not like Kirk is in the first generation of actors. He's just, I mean, like, they get taught, like, they go to acting school. Like, he's a good actor, at least, for this part. I genuinely don't know if I've seen him in anything else, but like that would imply that there's no modern day actor who people just look up to for them as an actor. I wonder if there's actually a disease like that or a theoretical basis. It's like it's a big change, but I can't. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I can't actually think of something that doesn't exist in you before puberty. Yeah, that sounds like something Kirk would say. Please stop hitting on her. So if we're saying she's just entering puberty, she's definitely like less than 18. God, look at all those files. Control F is one of the greatest inventions our species has ever made. No responsibilities, provided you ignore how you actually managed to survive for 300 years. Like, I feel like there's a fair amount of interesting stuff you could do with this concept, this setup, and they're focusing on the least interesting of the story of this one girl who's falling in love with Kirk, and so there's a time pressure to cure both the crew and her. But like kind of to the point where you brush over everything else about how this society's actually worked for like 300 years. Like it kind of could have been interesting to see a society that had basically collapsed, um, was run by children, and trying to help that society. You know, might be hard to do in an hour, but I'm sure you could make it work. 100. No data. Why not? YouTube. I'm seeing it. YouTube just flashed up. Hey, we're not getting data, and I'm like, no, I see. Oh, well, there we go. I just updated. Which implies that the kids aren't savages. I kind of like a fair amount of this is it almost seems anti the sort of the Lord of the Flies philosophy, which is the only thing worse than the book Lord of the Flies is the movie Lord of the Flies. Uh, but yeah, I just wish we kind of explored it a bit more, you know? Like I don't think I thought of it until I'm rewatching it now, but where'd they get like food for the past 300 years? Their clothes are in great condition. Their teeth are look good. Like the society clearly functions to a point at least. I commit. The dogs come to sleep and watch Miri. I like how I don't think this is really part of the standing set because it doesn't look as good as anything else. Or like they've added bits to the standing interior. All right. There's no way Kirk couldn't see. I, there was a counter in front of Kirk that the kids were hiding behind, but that means they were on the same counter, same side of the counter as Kirk. If we just established there's a stun setting? I don't recall. The cage must have had that now. There's a lot of this as well that, like, I can see the intent, like when he made her go clean the table and just having her sharpen pencils. I see he's trying to keep her busy, but, and, like, you know, keep her mind off things. But, especially when it was like, can you go clean that table? It feels very much of like, well, she's a woman now, let's put her to work, let's make her a wife. Like, there's sort of those undertones. I'm also, I guess, not sure what the moral of the story is, I guess. Because it's a disease, so it's not like humanity's gonna violence itself into oblivion. But you think it might be an anti-immortality episode, but it it's just a bit odd. I don't know. They're focusing more on just trying to cure themselves. Just convert that to days, please. Thank you, Spock. I think that might be the longest time any crew has ever had to cure a disease. No, to be fair, Julian spent a long time on that one planet, where they had the blight. I think they're more like robots than actors. No, they're they're just more professional. They're more stoic, like in Doctor Who, because they're very like British prim and proper. I mean, that might actually be how, you know, British people were at the time, but it is kind of artificial. With this, they're just it's just the like professionalism, and like they're used to being in dangerous situations and they're worried, but they're also used to getting the job done and not letting their fear overtake them. That is the largest air duct I've ever seen. It's a good thing Janice and Miri were like taking a bathroom break. And those two red shirts. Who, thinking about it, might actually survive this episode. I love the useless chart of mutations. Okay, so they did have food. It was just extraordinarily well preserved. Tell you what, though, you want actors who are more emotive? Wait till next week with the Conscience of the King. Hey, Comet. Oh, Comet, you want to move? You're gonna push me out of the chair. Comet, not Comet. Captain, look at my legs, but also, I'm gonna cover the part I want you to look at. It was a ruse all along, Captain. Janice probably isn't in a lot more episodes, because she leaves pretty quickly, and I'm not surprised. If anything, I'm surprised how long Janice stayed on the ship. Oh, how's the gain now? Because I've moved. That's good, fine. I think lowering the bit rate really helped, because I was at like 6,000, which is way more than I needed. That's good. And I could even take it lower if we wanted. I think so as well. God, what did I just talk about? Oh, the bit rate? Yeah. Good. I'm wanting, when we do Doctor Who, I'm hoping for next week. I just need the thumbnail. And I'm now pestering my wife about it. I think I want to get my brother in, because I've been pestering him to watch Doctor Who again, and he wants to. I'm like, what if you just join me? But we'd probably have to do it on Discord. So I'd need the internet to be in an audio call and live stream. And we might have to test that at some point. I love that kid. Sorry, I just talked over that joke. What if one of you fell and got hurt? Me! I say it's me. I love being hurt. You know what I like here? I think this kid has all the lines, because if the other kid had speaking lines, they wouldn't be considered extras and they'd had to be paid more. Might be interested in the credits to see if only those two kids are credited. I mean, that's a bit Lord of the Flies, I guess, but it's just a weird mix of the society functioning, because it has to be around for 300 years, but they kind of want it to be Lord of the Flies. And, you know, I don't know. It's just kind of hard to figure out what they're trying to say, I guess. And not every episode has to be saying something, but I really feel like this one is, and I just can't quite get my hands on it. Kirk just ripping up his shirt. because that's what he does. I just, like, it's been, like, what, 5-6 days, and everyone on the ship is like, we haven't heard from the captain in ages. I don't know, do you think... I can see them on the scanner. I'm detecting 3 humanoid life forms. Do you think maybe we should just, like, beam more communicators down? No, 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 no. I've waited to become captain this whole time, and by God, I'm gonna become captain. Or it'd be kind of funny if, I guess the Enterprise knows how long they're gonna last, but if they hailed the Enterprise and they just left because they thought everyone died. It's like, oh, darn. Well, no, we've established that all her friends are gonna starve to death, except, like, maybe her. Yeah, I've been playing the same game for 300 years. It's a really good piece of makeup. Like, I know it's so simple, but... Do you watch stuff older than this? Yes, because Doctor Who goes back to 63. I've probably seen older things. Like, I know I've seen some really old black and white films. But I don't really watch anything older than Doctor Who regularly. A fair... Like, I think the 80s is kind of where I'll start having seen a lot of the stuff. Because, you know, a lot of big movies. That's kind of when the older shows are generally very high quality. Like, you know, even Doctor Who and Star Trek, there's a lot of kind of meh within, even if there's enjoyable. But in the 80s, you can actually start getting things like Deep Space Nine. Or, you know, just, like, really well-written. I think it's the little bit of serialization that comes along in the 80s that can help elevate a lot of series. And even if I think of things I want to watch, like Battlestar Galactica, I think is also the 80s. Like, the only 70s things I've seen are the Star Trek movies and 70s Doctor Who. And, like, that's basically bridging a gap, you know. Yeah, no, I haven't... I don't think I've seen a television show older than Doctor Who. At least he's giving it his all when he's acting. His line is literally blah, blah, blah. But by God, he's gonna do it. Oh, I thought they were nodding like, yeah, no one. That's what I want. The heck was that? What's that? Someone's like crumpling some tinfoil by the boom mic. I thought that was in real life. I was like, what? That was that some weird mixing, or did everyone hear that? Yeah. I mean, even, yeah, Doctor Who is, especially those like first two, like Ian and Barbara. It's very, I, it's always kind of funny but frustrating that other than the first episode where the audience also learns the TARDIS is the bigger on the inside, here's some reactions when the companions enter the TARDIS for the first time. One I remember is, "My doctor, this is a rather queer ship you have." Um, and basically they're all like that, a casual remark at how the ship is rather unusual. It's not like the earth-shattering event it is nowadays. And, you know, like it would actually be. I've entered the TARDIS in VR before, and even that was weird. Like, it's bigger on the end. It's not supposed to happen. Oh, I've just remembered there's a Fallout 4 mod that's like Fallout Who or something that has one of the best TARDISes I've ever seen. It's like the classic one. But when you fly it, you genuinely fly the TARDIS. There's like a 10-page manual on how to fly the TARDIS and the various hazards. And you could fly it boring, but you could also fly it manually like the Doctor does. But there's also a VR mode for Fallout 4 that supports the mods, and I really have been meaning to set up VR and get like the Fallout VR and the TARDIS mod so I can fly the TARDIS in VR. And you genuinely, it's one of the most like intense running around and like you sit your little paper by the monitor, but eventually you just learn how to fly the TARDIS. It's great. Yeah, that's fine. Older Doctor Who's not for everyone, but even modern Doctor Who, I think, I think Doctor Who's interesting because I think most of it isn't that great, but like, I still like it, and like everyone who likes it kind of is like that. It's like, yeah, most of it's not good, but it's interesting. It's the institution, you know. I don't know. I watched a video one recently where someone said if you were making a Doctor Who tier list and you just ordered the modern series in the order they came out, so like season one's the best, then season two, then season three, it would be a passable tier list. It's like, I don't personally agree with it, but it'd be passable. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, it would be. It would be passable. It's just a show that for the past 20 years has gotten slightly worse. Until I think that's gonna change with the new one, but I found that funny. Like it's a sort of tier list you'd look at, and most people would go, "You're wrong," but like they wouldn't get angry about it. They'd just be like, you know, you're wrong, but it's nothing too egregious here. It's like just seasons 9 and 10. I'm like, they're a little low. That's the reaction you'd have to seeing that tier list. There's basically two types of shows I watch. There's Doctor Who and Star Trek. And then there's the shows my wife fixates on, and so I watch as well. Don't get me wrong, I like Has Been Hotel, but I'm only watching it because my wife got fixated on it. Wow, Bones. Was the conversation so off topic you really just had to go kill yourself? Like, come on, man. That's insulting. I genuinely think the red shirts are both gonna survive, which is amazing. Like, why are they even here? It's... Genuinely, though, why are they here? Because, like, they didn't serve much point to the story, and they had to actively just ignore them and get them out of the way for the communicators to be stolen. Oh my god, you changed your icon midstream. Has Been Hotel, yeah. Has Been Hotel, because I think people should watch it. I genuinely have fewer critiques about the series as a whole than I do most individual episodes of television. My wife always said it was like Disney. What if it was the Disney Princess in Hell? That's like how it's self-described. By the end of the second episode, I was sold on that premise. I'm like, I get it. It took till the ending of the second episode where I was like, I see it. It all came together. I get it. I liking it. And then the one that came out yesterday, if you notice, in the last week, I talked about how my wife likes the show, even though I was enjoying it. The ending of the 5th episode was when I went, okay, now I'm a fan of the show. Now, even though Alex was going to buy the Blu-ray, I'm going to buy it first. Like... Now, are they going to say that they're sending a Federation team or something? Because we've already established the kids are going to run out of food. Really, a little while ago, you were talking about how they were children. Okay, yeah. We're sorting it out. Is this... Actually, I'm going to have to check if that's when she left the scene. That's how they write her out of the series. Star Trek Yeoman Janice. Also, I've seen your wife, Kirk. Well, not your wife, but your, Maybe... Although, maybe that's why he doesn't get involved with older women, is, What's her face? Carol. Did you... Nope, she's in the next episode. And then that's the last time we see Janice until the movies. She's in Flashback? Oh, yeah, because she's in the Undiscovered Country, of course she's in Flashback. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, do you see? I mapped those to the numbers like I said I would, but I still have to learn them, which number's which. Yeah, Miri. I mean, it wasn't as, like, egregious as I remember. I mean, it was like a standard TOS episode with, like, the amount of 60s that were in there. I just think its main problem was it definitely felt like it was trying to say something, but I couldn't get my hands around, like, what? I'm gonna pick this up on Memory Alpha and see if maybe there were any edits or anything. Star Trek Miri. Oh, there goes the stream. There we go, we're back. As I said... I don't even remember. What did I say? I was going to make a point, but apparently I've already made it. Background information. God, there's a lot on this Memory Alpha page. The original script had a much closer relationship between Kirk and Janice. The original script, the action is basically the same. However, around 80% of the dialogue is different from the rewrite in the aired episode. Yes, this makes sense. Janice is revealed to be 24. And she is considering leaving the Enterprise. They set that up. Also, the character of, quotes, capitals, fat little boy is extended, and more emphasis is put on older kids taking care of the younger ones. See? I think I would have liked this more, because that's what I was saying. I would have liked more exploration of the society. Previously, the script still needed a large amount of rewriting when photography on Dagger of the Mind was completed. Production shut down for 2 days, yada yada. McEvedy directed the episode from a wheelchair, as he had broken his leg. Well... This episode's teaser is the shortest of any of the original series at 1 minute 10 seconds, huh? Oh, the set of the ruined city is familiar. It was filmed on the outdoor stage set on the main street of fictional town Mayberry from the Andy Griffiths show, North Carolina. Yep, that was a standing set. Yeah, so it had rewrites, which I can tell. I think there probably was um, a message. Ooh, this was the shortest title in the original series. Yeah, because there's, I think, like E squared is an episode title. That's probably shortest. But yeah, I think there were more stronger themes. It was a bit more tight. It was a bit more clear. But it looks like this was like 80% of the dialogue has changed. The plot points are there, but you know, a separate writer came in and redid the scripts, and I think that shows. I mean, I had suspected it, so yeah, not a great one. Next episode, Conscience of the King, should be interesting. I remember it's extremely over the top. It's incredibly Shakespeare. Like, I said this was a theatrical one. The plot is like there's a murderer, that there's a string of murders that happen to coincide with when this like Shakespeare company is going around, and so like there's literally a Shakespeare company, and they behave like they're and speak like they're in Shakespeare, and it's kind of over the top comedy, and I mean, I don't remember much about the actual plot. I know who the villain is, but there's a lot of it's extremely theatrical intentionally, like, you know, Shakespeare's involved. Galileo 7, you'll get me ranting about how the writers are bad at logic and it makes Spock look like an absolute moron. Court Martial's good. No. How long are we from Discovery? Oh yeah, we've got like 3 months. We're gonna finish season 1 before we get Discovery, unless they put the first episode up early. Hate Conscience of the King, but I love the idea of a rogue federate. Yeah, I mean, I understand if it's hated. Like, it's it's different. It's a different one, but I think we can have fun with it. Is Spock more or less human from now? No, I mean, his arc of battling with humanity, as I recall, it doesn't really kind of start developing until the movies. And I don't remember if, like, by the end of the movies or by the end, or by, like, TNG, you really see him more as, like, well, what the wise Vulcans are. They've actually balanced their emotions and their logic. They let their emotions inform their logic, but they're not ruled by their emotions. But you do see the friendship with Kirk and McCoy develop. Like, yeah, I know there's the scene where he, like, thinks Kirk is dead, and he's, like, gives an excited, like, Jim, you know, with a big smile when he finds out he's alive. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like the 60s. It's very kind of subtle. It's very slow. It's a slow burn, but no, he's never like the human characters, I don't think. Well, unless you want to go to Strange New Worlds, but we don't talk about Strange New Worlds Spock. It's a rule on the channel. But yeah, I'm still enjoying this. I'm going to pester my wife all the time about getting the Ninth Doctor thumbnails so we can do Rose. Hopefully get my brother in, which means we might do some random stream just to see if I am capable. Like, I've noticed YouTube's cut out a few times. I might do a test stream. I might maybe try, like, tomorrow, or we might do Conscious of the King on Twitch, right? If you don't see this on YouTube, check my community tab. Like, I might try this one on Twitch, because I have a Twitch account. It's linked, like, on the channel. It's linked somewhere. In fact, before we leave, let me just get that. I'll put, like, a link to the Twitch channel in chat. Not live. Links. There's my about. Twitch. There we go. There's my Twitch. I haven't done anything for ages. You can see the thumbnail is still old Prodigy. But you can see my main channel banner. Actually with the big, oh wow, we got the old Domination Society splash screen. Yeah. I might try and see if that's a little more stable. Because, like, it's fine. But for a watch-along, we can't buffer. Because if we buffer, on the replay, you'll get out of sync. And I still haven't uploaded the last week's episode. But it's hard for me to know if, like, that's actually a problem or not. And most of the viewers are on rewatch. And especially if I ever do get big, if I really do this for years, if people come to, like, Deep Space Nine and enjoy that and they want to see my older series, they're gonna go then and watch these old watch-alongs. And if it gets out of sync, if it cuts, they're a lot less likely to actually comment, and then I'd fix it, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. My wife wants to go get stuff so they can start the fireplace we just repaired. We need, like, matches or something. But yeah, I'll keep up. Look on the community tab to see what we're gonna do. I might try Twitch. I might mess with the bitrate, but I think it's on YouTube's end because OWS is fine. It says it's dropped 0% of frames. I've dropped 22 frames this whole stream. It's YouTube. Like, I don't know if I've got a setting wrong. I might actually see the bitrate I need for. But, like, it's beating that. Maybe I need to enforce a delay. Maybe that would help. I don't know. I'll try troubleshooting things, but yeah, I will say thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.